Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Setters. So last week was Super Bowl Sunday, and I have never seen Vegas so packed. I want to sit there and do a shout out to everyone I met, everyone I sat there and threw dice with during the weekend. And like I said, I've never seen Vegas so packed. The strip was like a parking lot. I don't know if I ever said this on my channel, but I do know I was talking to some of my friends, and it was something that the bone thrower had sat there and said about switching up your dice sets. And to me, I was not on board with it. I was like, you know, most of us have three dice sets we use or more. And you know that pretty much they're going to sit there and send you to 10 to 15 rolls per session. But to sit there and rotate three of them, the best three you have, to me should still be 10 to 15. But I tried it. I tried it while I was in Vegas last weekend. And what usually is 10 rolls per session, 10 to 15 average, it almost doubled by doing it the way the bone thrower said. So shout out to bone thrower. Um, I don't know if it was me. I don't know if I have no idea. I have no idea why it is that it changed so dramatically. Each dice set again, you know for sure 10 throws at least. But if you sit there and just one, two, three, go back to one, two, three, somehow, don't know how, and all the times I've used it, it doubled what I normally can throw. So I'm going to show you my top three. It doesn't mean that they have to be your top three. In fact, I've seen people try to teach me their throw. They're like, Jeff, you've got to try this. This is like the best throw since hamburgers. And I've tried it, and I just could not get it. I have tried, and they're just like, well, you're just not getting it. That's fine. What works for me might not work for you, but you've got to have at least three good ones. If you can get three dice sets that will get you up to 10 rolls at the table, just sit there and go one, two, three, one, two, three. I guarantee you it will improve your average. There are times you'll throw a seven, but I'm talking about your average. Average is completely different than the first time at the table. But try it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and I've shown before, but this might be for people that are new or for people that are like, you know what, I'm going to try his throws. They all are thrown the same way. It's just the numbers on the top change. And I'm going to sit there and show it to you, and hopefully that'll be a benefit to you because let's say you're at, 7 or 8 or 10. If you could double that, basically you're going to be doubling your money. If you can double the amount of throws you get before you hit 7, you will double your money. Whatever you're making before, you're going to double it. So if you were making, 2 to 500 per session with you throwing, it's going to double it. I took 200 and made it into 700. And I was not pressing it hard. I was not pressing it hard at all. It was a $5 table. I had 25 on the pass line. I had $5 for the dealer on the pass line, and I started with 15. So my 6, my 8 were 18, my 5 was 15, and I was playing the Iron Cross, 15 in the field. And by doing that, I got up to 700, including my 200 I started off with. And that was my first time using the 1, 2, 3, and then go back to 1, 2, 3. The hardest part is trying to remember which one you left off with. So if you can sit there and say, well, this is the all 7. This is the 6s. These are the 2s. So you just kind of go down, or you can go up in order, however you want to do it. But try it and let me know if it's been a help to you. So I'm going to show you my 3 rolls, and hopefully, you sit there and say, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try one of his rolls. Or if you're like, I got 2 good rolls, I want a third one. Tell me in the comments if this has helped you. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. This is pretty much the first one I start off with. And you're like, why would you start off with this one? the reason why I start off with this one is because most of the time I can roll a 4. So if I start off with this one and hop the 4 for $2, $4, more than likely I'm going to sit there and land on 4, and I'll be able to get that bet. So it's cross sixes. This is if you were watching it or you were throwing it, and you're going to sit there and turn it down one turn. So for me, we have cross sixes. I'm going to sit there and turn it down one turn. Middle finger pushes against them to make sure that they're tight, and I continually slide it just to make sure that the dice are tight. And then pointy finger and thumb hold it, and it's just like that. You don't want any spin on the dice at all. You want to try to sit there and have those dice hit flat. Fingers are all the way down on the table. It's going to be just like that. That's the first roll. My second roll hard to do this backwards, is this one. It's going to be the all 7. 1, 2, 6, 5. No matter how you look at it, they're 7s. If I do this one, easy to remember. 1, 2, and then whatever your 7s are going to be. 6, 5. So it's going to look like this when I sit there and set it up. 1, 2, 6, 5, and don't turn it down. That one finger is going to sit there and scoot across the felt so the dice push up against themselves and it's tight. And then your fingers are going to sit there and just, hopefully you can see that. And again, you're going to sit there and throw it the same way. And finally, the last one. 2, 1, 2, 3. We can also use the 2, 4, but I prefer the 2, 3. For some reason, less 7s come up with that. It looks like that toward me. You're scooting it across the felt. Make sure that they're going to be picked up with no gap in between. Just throw it. So those are my 3. There's other ones I can put in there, but those are my top 3. And so that's what I sit there and suggest. Sit there and circle them around. And you don't have to sit there and for sure do it that way. If you hit the come out point, and now you're back to having, waiting for another come out roll, I would go back, if it were me, I would go back to the one I always start with, which are the 6s crossed, in hopes I can sit there and hit the 4. 80% of the time, I can hit the 4 by doing that. It also makes it easier for me to hit my point as well. If my point's 4, I know that cross 6s will do this. But I will sit there and throw the other 2, and then hopefully on the 4th roll, do this one again, and I'll be able to sit there and hit my 4, and I'll sit there and I'll have odds on the pass line, and I'll sit there and win. But tell me what your at least top 3 are, if you have top 3. This is a learning thing, so other people can learn. So if these are not your top 3, let me know what they are. Maybe you're going to be help to to somebody out there that's looking for an extra dice set that's going to help them, put them over so they can sit there and roll over 10 times or 15 times or even 20 times. Let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll get some good ammunition, and if I've never seen this dice set before, I'll sit there and even try it next week. Thanks. Have a good one.